Hey, good evening. A little after 9:30 here. Time for 48 Weather Extra. Got a few things going on. We've got that area of low pressure in the Gulf. Where's Pawpaw Brad? Brad's not Pawpaw yet. I'm just Pawpaw to a dog. I'll make that very clear. I'm not quite ready to be Pawpaw yet. But again, we've got a Gulf low, and then we've got the heat. The bigger story for us is going to be the heat. And that tropical moisture may not even make it up here. It may go all the way into Louisiana. I take that back. The tropical humidity is coming. A few showers, a few thunderstorms will increase into the weekend, but the brunt of the heavy rain, this tropical system may stall out over southeast Texas and Louisiana, and that would not be good news. But we'll talk more about that coming up here in just a second. You know what? I left my remote. I left my remote in the studio. I'm going to have to go get that. But I'll go ahead and put the circle box up here, and we will begin. You're looking at the Parkway. I'll be back with my weather remote. Got a lot going on. It's just going to be really hot. We'll see high temperatures, about 96 tomorrow. And the big change really is the humidity. That deep tropical moisture keeps coming in from the south. And as it does so, that's what's causing the issues. I can go ahead and advance and talk about the heat advisory. Now you'll notice some counties in northeast Alabama are not in this. And I do want to focus on that because we're all basically looking at the same heat. The heat index could easily hit 104. The criteria for a heat advisory is a sustained heat index around 105. And I don't even think everyone in the orange shade is going to see 105 tomorrow. One of the factors here is they're starting to use this new calibration. I think more like the wet bulb temperature. If you're in the military, you probably heat phase 4 and things like that during your training. The thing is, it's all the same heat. That's why I don't like the cutoff on this, because it's not like it's going to be that much hotter in Florence versus Scottsboro, and you'll see that here in a second. But what we do have is a lot of humidity out there. You don't want to overexert yourself. If you do find yourself cramping up, that's really the first sign that you're having some heat exhaustion. You go in, you hydrate, and then you get more heat, you get more cramps. You just need to stop for the day and let your body recover. So both of these, you get faint or dizzy and excessive sweating. Now with heat stroke, that's the one that can kill you. Both of them can eventually kill you, but heat exhaustion leads to heat stroke. You get the throbbing headache. You're not sweating at all. So what happens is you're so dehydrated that you no longer sweat. Your skin is just red. It's hot and dry, very dry. Heat exhaustion, a lot of times you won't feel these excessive sweating. Man, I had that on my dinner break. I was out in the garage. Cool, pale, clammy skin, yeah, you'll get some of that. But your real first indication is going to be rapid pulse and then cramping. Cramping is a real red flag for heat exhaustion. That's your body saying you are dehydrated. So what I do is I've got a whole thing, a jar of pickles in the fridge, and I'll drink some pickle juice on days I'm working and sweating a lot outside. And some people actually they'll have mustard as well. So again, I guess that helps too. I'm not going to go full mustard and pickles. I'll just do the pickle juice and eat a few pickles. That seems to help. The other thing that will happen is you get nausea and vomiting. That's a lot more indicative of kind of the final phase of heat exhaustion. You may lose consciousness if you got this heat stroke. And then if you got any of these symptoms of heat stroke, you need to call 911. You need medical attention immediately. And there have been a few calls this summer already about this. And again, I shouldn't have to remind everyone, do not leave your pets in a car. Do not leave your children in a hot car. Don't leave anybody in a hot car unattended. Of course, an adult, you got the air conditioner on, you're probably going to be okay. But even a dog with the air conditioner, they could turn it off, or the car could stall. I mean, could run out of gas. Who knows? Don't leave your pets in the car. Don't leave your kids in the car. And we don't need any more heat-related fatalities. But again, stay hydrated. And if you do find yourself having a lot of cramps, the following day you're much more susceptible to heat exhaustion and then heat stroke. 1 water every 2 beers is key. Yeah, again, mix it up. If you're drinking alcohol, make sure you're chasing it with some good water. This is why I try not to draw the lines on the boundaries. We've got the heat advisory, but this is 10 o'clock tomorrow morning. It already feels like 97 in Scottsboro, 99 in Florence. So there's really not a huge change here. And in fact, if you've got like a big cornfield near your location, your heat index could be 109. Because what happens is those corn plants, and they're looking great. We've had so much rain. What happens is you get this process called evapotranspiration. It's where the plants are actually sweating. So they give off their own humidity. So if you've got a large cornfield, and I know that's the case up in parts of southern Middle Tennessee where they're growing corn for Jack Daniel's whiskey, that cornfield is giving off humidity. So your dew point might be 80 degrees. So again, they deal with this a lot in the state of Iowa because they've got so much corn up there. About this time of year, it creates its own urban heat island kind of thing, its own environment. What do they call that? The name escapes me right now. Microclimate, that's it. So you notice at 3 o'clock, the model guidance says it feels like 103 in Scottsboro. You're not under the advisory, but only 102 in Florence. So again, that's why I try not to draw too many barriers here when it comes to heat, especially. Peaked at 104 there, you see. By 7:30 tomorrow evening, it's still going to feel like 105 in Florence, 103 in Huntsville. Here's the other thing about this, the feels like. We're trying to narrow it down because if you don't have any wind out there, the heat index is going to be worse. If you don't have any clouds, the heat index is worse. The stress on your body is worse because that direct sunlight just drains you. And according to that map, we don't have any thunderstorms really firing up. So the model guidance is not showing a whole lot of thunderstorm activity in our area the next few days. We've got 30%, but that may be overdone. Now we shift to Thursday, 10 o'clock in the morning. We're right back close to 100 degrees on the heat index. Yeah, that's 10 o'clock in the morning. 4 o'clock, 104 Scottsboro, 104 Meridianville, 106 in Florence, 106 Moulton. So the hottest day is going to be Thursday. So that's why if you get stressed out tomorrow, be very careful Thursday because the heat's going to be even worse. So here are the actual temperatures, 93 to 96 by 3 o'clock and just one isolated storm. Yeah, I did see quite a bit of lightning down there, Chandler, down on Gulf Shores. Again, they're getting some of those, not quite a feeder band off of this. They had a complex of storms on the northeast side of that, northwest side of this. Again, tracking the tropics. Right now, that center of low pressure is centered basically north of Lake City, Florida, and it's moving over open water. The tricky part is the closer it stays to land, the less likely it is to develop. I don't see any rapid intensification with this, despite what you may see on social media, those trying to get new followers. But it is going to be a big rain system. This is going to be a huge rainmaker. There's going to be a lot of rip currents down there. And if it tracks farther off the coast, it could become Tropical Storm Dexter. I believe Dexter is the next name. Here's the latest hour by hour. This will be 7 o'clock tomorrow morning. Notice not a lot of showers and storms immediately on the coast, but the model guidance is probably a little off because there will be some of these feeder bands around this just due to the circulation. Around here, we're just high and dry, aren't we? We're struggling. In fact, this is 8 o'clock. Man, the model guide, I got to put my glasses on. This is the new model guidance. And it just takes away any showers and storms. So I'm probably going to have to adjust our forecast to 20% tomorrow at the least. But look at New Orleans. This is 8:30 in the evening, New Orleans. This is where the rip currents, the surf starts to get a little rough from Pensacola over to Mobile and probably even Biloxi. And this thing just kind of slowly churns. And still no rain for us. This is 8 o'clock Thursday morning. But just off the Louisiana coast, the fishing's not going to be very good there. But then notice the surge of deep tropical moisture and thunderstorms that start across the Florida Panhandle. This is Thursday afternoon, and this all moves to the north very slowly. We're kind of caught in a zone where there's storms to the north and storms to our south, and that may translate a little bit better for us by Friday. That's why we've got an increase of 50% chance for thunderstorms there. But notice there's still no center of circulation. I mean, at least a tropical storm, but there it's spinning there as it goes closer to Houston. So again, as long as this stays out of the San Antonio and the Big Hills area, I think Texas may be okay. But man, if this goes into central Texas, north of Austin, that's not going to be good at all. Here's your 3-day forecast. First alert weather days for the heat. We'll let this come north. The center of low pressure is probably not going to come north. I know some of the spaghetti plots do have that, but just based on what I saw there, it looks like it's a weak area low pressure that tracks along the Gulf Coast. But we'll see. Until it gets an official center area low pressure that starts to take off, that's more tropical. Right now, it's not a tropical low. It's a regular low. It's kind of a cutoff low. So by Friday, scattered thunderstorms, a better chance of that. So as far as will it impact us, the deep tropical moisture will. Our dew points are going to be around 78 degrees Friday and Saturday. The overnight lows in the downtown areas of many of the larger cities probably won't get lower than 80 degrees. So that's just how brutal it's going to be. I'll be back with a look at the 10-day forecast after this 1-minute break, so stick around. Whoops, I just killed it. Ah! I hit the wrong button. All right, everybody. I killed. Is the same stream and everything?
Yes.
Okay, good.
Yeah, you'll see yourself in just a few seconds.
All right, I pushed the wrong button, folks, so we're back. That was a quick commercial break, but thanks for sticking around. Let's get in and talk about the rain on the roof forecast. We're talking Wednesday, Thursday, 30%. I think that's too much. I'm going to drop that to 20% before the 10 o'clock news. And then Friday, 50, we'll see. But again, it doesn't look like a big rain producer for the weekend. So if you got weekend plans, that looks good. Yeah, so here's your 10-day forecast. It's still going to be hot. Heat index will still be close to maybe 104 on Friday. But I think you get the point here. That's the whole point of the first alert weather day, is to really bring it to your attention. We're not going to string out all the way through August with first alert weather days. This is just a way to stay aware. Yeah, we'll see what happens Wednesday if we get back into the 96-degree range. If we get a heat index around 105, 110, we may have to do that. But overall, the weekend doesn't look too bad. There will be a few storms. We're going to need them. So appreciate you guys tuning in tonight. I've got to get ready for the 10 o'clock news.